Ahoy, loyal sailors! Today we'll be taking on the roles of sailors, pirates, and cultists trying to get to our prospective spot on the map. And whoever gets there will be declared the winner. Welcome to Feed the Kraken!
All right, Dean, so let's go ahead and before we talk about the gameplay and what we think about this game in those terms, let's talk about the art and components, though, because this is a prototype. Mostly all we can talk about is the art.
Yes.
So what do you think about the art in this game?
Yeah, I really love the art. Now, you know, the map is mostly just water hexes, but the detail that you get in the islands, like if you really look at those islands and on both sides and also where you start, I think it's really cool. I like it a lot. The art in the cards, I think, is really well done. The iconography is well done. You know, you do have the icons on those cards that need to be clear. To be able to see, you know, especially because you want to know without having to look at the box, that might, you know, potentially throw you off a little bit. So, so I think it's all really well done for what the production is right now for this style of game. It's top notch, I think.
Yeah, for sure. There's going to be two versions of this. Obviously, if you're watching this, you know that. So again, it's hard to talk about the components because these are 3D printed. But I agree with Dean. I think the art is awesome. And here, the thing is, I mean, it's awesome. This art is fantastic, actually. Yeah. Just like, I mean, when Funtails came out with Glenmore 2, it was just phenomenal. That's why, I also, just honestly, I just trust them with the components because of that. Because with Glenmore 2, I love their components. So, yeah, absolutely. Can't really talk about components, but I can say I really like the art in this.
Yeah, but what about the gameplay? Does it match up? Now, this isn't your style of game, John.
Okay, this is interesting, y'all, because I am not, all right, I'm not a deduction hater. I'm not. Social deduction. But it's also not my favorite style of game. And so I honestly, when Funtails, I was hopeful because of how good Glenmore 2 was. That this was going to be...
But it's totally different.
I know, that this was going to be really good. And I was hopeful, but honestly, I was not as excited about this one than Glenmore 2. I've played this game so many times now, Dean.
Yeah.
So I've played this prototype to where I was a little nervous that it might get wore out before we actually recorded this video, because this is absolutely a deadgum blast.
It is. You're absolutely right.
And what I like about the gameplay, man, is that there's so many different things going on that you can kind of lie and deceive about. Like there's a lot of games that have social deduction. It just, I don't know. I feel like there's not a lot of different strategies that you can take. But I'll give you one quick example, then you can kind of share some of your thoughts. Is not only do you go north, south, east, or west, but you have these little icons here.
You actually don't go south, but...
Did I say south?
You did.
Oh, north, south, or east. Nope. North, east, or west.
There you go.
These icons are really interesting because you saw that one gun got taken away from the coach. Now, he could have lied and gone towards the pirates' direction early and said, hey, there was a navigator thing where I would lose one of my guns, and I just didn't think it was worth it at this point in the game to go east and lose a gun. Because as you can tell in this game, especially with 6 players, you only have 3 guns mostly in this game, so that's an epic loss. Or like this one, the captain gets drunk and the captain shifts. So someone could be like, hey, Dean, I just wanted Dean to be my captain. And so the game gives you a lot of outs for why you did certain things, which leaves you literally guessing to the very end of this game.
Yeah.
I mean, almost every time I play, there's some, even no matter how much I think I know who is who and all that kind of stuff, I'm not exactly sure.
Yeah, even when you land on this tile and you get to look and see who somebody is. So John might have looked at this tile and said, I want to look in Dean's bag. And you look in my bag and says out loud, this is what Dean is. Not everybody's going to believe that. And in fact, oftentimes you're not going to, because then, oh, John could be the pirate. Like everything about all the things you just said are incredible and way better done than any other social deduction game that I've played.
I just want to jump in and say that there was a time whenever Dean was playing, and I can't remember, who were you playing with, Dean? When we were playing online, and they were both pirates. And so what ended up happening was he opened up the thing and saw Dean's. He purposely chose Dean, even though he knew Dean was a pirate. And they bickered back and forth the entire game, fighting about who the pirate was, leaving us all going, well, one of them's a pirate. with us all not realizing that
Hans,
both of
maybe.
them, both of them were pirates the whole time. No, I don't think it was Hans who did that.
Okay, I can't remember.
Anyways, it was just like that was actually a brilliant play in this game.
It's so well done. Now, I am a big social deduction fan. I've really enjoyed. I've played a lot of Mafia and Werewolf and One Night Werewolf and
Resistance.
Resistance. I played all Avalon. All of those I've played a bunch because I really like them. This is, and we don't give our final ratings for these games, but I'll definitely give some strong thoughts on this. This is by far the best social deduction game that I've played for those reasons. Oftentimes you have an idea, and in a lot of other games, okay, we figured out this person, now we can move on. You still might have a question there, but this one is that to the extreme. Like, you really, just when you think you have things figured out, something happens that really changes that, which is amazing. It's really difficult to do that, but the way the cards play out, they did it well.
Well, and that's the thing is like it's also ever evolving, because in the game that we played, Coach got converted to a cult follower. So you may know who someone is, but then, and it doesn't always happen. The cult rituals don't always happen. But when you go north, you do a cult ritual. And we didn't explain that because the whole thing, you're going to flip 5 cards over. 3 of them, if one of the 3 come out that has this little fist thing or whatever with a snake, means that you're going to do a cult ritual. Someone's going to tickle the other person's hand, and they're going to become a cult follower. And no one knows what's happening. So even the pirates can know who the pirates are. But now Chip over here is like, dang, did Ninja get converted?
Right,
and like you're trying to get. And so it's like, even when you think it can totally change. And if we would have gone north, someone else would have potentially gotten converted.
That's right.
And so you're making those interesting decisions. And then these cards are cool too.
Yeah, they are. They really changed the game quite a bit. You can get more guns. You can take things from people. You can, we've had the card where you're giving somebody else a couple, extra navigator cards to look at. So there's lots of different things. And with the Kickstarter, there's going to be more that come out that we didn't have to the table, and who knows what's going to pan out there. But one thing we didn't mention, so it's not on this board, but if you have the other longer side, you have a spot where you can actually cut somebody's tongue out. And so if you've got somebody that's talking
and flog people as well.
Right, you can flog people as well. So to find out the loyalty. With the cutting out the tongue, if you have somebody, let's say you're a pirate and you have a very strong sailor, and you know that they're either a sailor or a cultist, you know who the other pirates are, you might think, I'm going to cut their tongue out because they're going to end up losing the game for us, which really changes it a lot too.
It does.
Now, here's the thing. If you get thrown overboard or if you get your tongue cut out, those are both happening towards the end of the game. And so it's not the end of the world. Like, you can have player elimination in this game. If we would have thrown the wrong person over, if it wasn't the cult leader.
It's always before potentially a last spot. Though it could go from here to here to here.
But it's going to be really
a couple of
close
rounds at most
to the end of the game. And getting your tongue out could happen more in the middle of the game, depending on how fast you play and how fast you get to the coast after that point. But you're still playing it. You're still in it. You just can't say anything, which is really interesting. I thought I wouldn't like that, but I actually liked it quite a bit.
I like it unless I get my tongue cut out.
Yes.
And then it does. It puts a little damper on the game for me because I like to talk a lot.
I don't know. But, I don't think it's the end of the world though, because you're still in it and you can still sway things.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, and then the flogging allows you to basically know what someone is not. Like one of the 3 things that they're not, which is kind of interesting. And it's really hard, Dean, to play this game and not get thematic, like not like start making like "arr" and like. I think it's fun.
Yeah.
It's really fun.
I will say this. So one argument that people have when they really don't like social deduction games is those heated debates that you end up in, and sometimes they can last a really long time, and you're going to have, if you don't like these type of games, and that's why, you're going to be like, okay, let's get this game moving. Let's keep this moving along. I don't think that this game is going to change your mind about that. Like, if you're playing with a group that takes a really long time to argue and you already don't like social deduction games, I don't think this is going to automatically make you like social deduction games. But what I think you need is to have people that can really move those conversations along. Sure. Not just for this game, but for all social deduction games. You need to have somebody that keeps the conversation moving. And that could sway your vote. But again, if you don't like social deduction, I don't know if this is really going to change your mind on it.
No, and I've had this played, I've had my family play this quite a bit during COVID. And we have different types of players. The players that just don't like social deduction still don't like this game.
Yep.
I mean, they're just like, oh, I just don't like that arguing. I don't like lying. I don't like deceiving. That's not very fun. But the ones who do like social deduction, absolutely love this game. Like, seriously, this is one of the, for my kids, this is 100%, and they're 10 and 12 and 7. The 7-year-old kind of just plays on a team. This is the most requested game by far in the family.
Yeah.
Like, they just, I want to play for you, the Kraken, I want to play for you, the Kraken, I want to play for the Kraken, which is cool for them. And for someone, so if you don't like social deduction at all, I don't think this changes your mind. If you're someone like me, though, who likes social deduction fine, but it's not your favorite, I'm going to say this with this grain of salt, or with this caveat. I have played a decent amount of social deduction games, but not crazy. Like, I haven't gone crazy on so because I don't love them. This is my favorite one. I'll just be honest. This is literally my favorite social deduction game that I have ever played. The only negatives, I think, for me would be the length of game.
Yeah, that's
like
right.
if you're gonna play Coup or something like that you could get done like really, really quick. But this is just so much better than those games, than Coup and the Resistance. Like, that I just honestly, if I want to play social deduction, unless I just don't have time right now, hands down, seriously, I'm absolutely going to play this game. So
yeah, this can actually be a social deduction game that you make the headliner. Like, this is the main course of your gaming night for sure, because it's going to take hours. It's going to take sometimes a few hours. It's going to take a while.
It just depends on the group.
It does depend on the group.
Sometimes it can go. I don't remember what they say this is, like an hour to. I don't know, but I've had groups take a really long time, and it didn't feel like that. I didn't mean to interrupt you. It didn't feel like that because the reason it took a long time is because we're all having this heated debate,
right?
And so it felt great. I was glad it lasted 3 hours. It was fun. Sorry,
but again, going back to what you're saying, if you don't like that, then that's going to be a slog, and you're going to hate it probably, right? But if you like this can be very much a main course game for the night if you have the right group. And I definitely, we both really recommend this one. Again, no final scores on this, but we like it quite a bit. So check it out if this seems like it's your thing. John, tell people how they can get in touch with us.
If you're enjoying our nonsensical channel, you can subscribe to it. Also, you can go to MeepleTownGames.com to check out all of our stuff. We're at Meepletown Games on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and we're Board Game Geek Guild 3407.
Thanks for coming down to Meepletown.
Thanks for joining us, and be sure to follow us on Twitter at Meepletown Games, and connect with us on the Meepletown Guild, Guild number 3407, at BoardGameGeek.com, and also subscribe to our podcast and YouTube channel. And until next time, thanks for coming down to Meepletown.